Oh, hey, I want to know the Korean titles of these Korean dramas.
Okay.
Can you help me?
Sure. Which dramas?
Kingdom, Moving, Sky Castle, and The Glory.
Those titles in Korean are Kingdom, Moving, Sky Castle, and The Glory. Alright, welcome back to Talk to Me in Korean, everyone. 안녕하세요, 여러분. 저는 선현우입니다. Like you just saw, some Korean drama titles are exactly the same in both Korean and English, minus the slight pronunciation difference, of course. But some English translations of these drama names are very different from the original Korean titles, mainly because literal translation doesn't really work for those. And I know it's fine as a drama viewer to just know the translated title, but since you guys are Korean learners, as a learner, it's a different story, you know? You want to know and understand the original title in Korean too, right? So let me introduce in this video some fun differences or the lack of differences between Korean drama titles and their English translations. I'm going to divide them into 4 groups. Titles that are the same in Korean and English, titles that are direct translations, basically, titles that are good translations but slightly different in English, and also finally titles that are very different and potentially unrecognizable as the same in Korean or English. So I'll be introducing 30 titles, so it'll be fun to also count how many of these dramas you've watched personally so far. So let's go. These dramas are basically the same title in Korean and English, so let me quickly say the names and move on to the next group, okay? We have Moving, 커피 프린스, Kingdom, and then we have the next one, Mr. Sunshine, which is interesting. Mr. Sunshine. The English translation is Mr. Sunshine, and the fun fact that you can find here is that it's written as sunshine, and not sunshine or sunshine, which would be the modern day spelling of the English word in Hangul, sunshine, because sunshine was how they actually used to transcribe the English word sunshine in Hangul back in the 1900s, because the drama is set in that era. And then we have these ones, The Glory, Itaewon Class, and by the way, this class is not how you normally transcribe class in Hangul. It would be class, but that's what they use for that drama. And then we have 3 more, Sky Castle, 경성 크리처, and then Sweet Home, basically the same in Korean and English. And now these are direct translations of the original Korean titles. We have 눈물의 여왕. It's written as 눈물의 여왕, but people would normally pronounce it as 눈물의 여왕, Queen of Tears. 눈물 is tear, 여왕 is queen. Fun fact, 여 means female and 왕 means king, so it's a female king. 왕비 is also another word for queen in Korean, but 여왕 and 왕비 are different because 여왕 is the female king as the ruler, and 왕비 is the wife of the king who is the ruler. So that's the difference that you will notice. And then we have 응답하라 1988, reply 1988. This 하라 ending is only used in command style sentences. 응답하라, like as you would talk on the radio. 응답하라. And then we have 해를 품은 달, another direct translation. 해를 품은 달, moon embracing the sun. 해 is the sun, 달 is the moon. 품다 is to embrace or to be holding something or someone in one's arms. So 해를 품은 달. More literally, the sun or the moon that has embraced the sun. And then 부부의 세계, the world of the married. And 도깨비, goblin, 도깨비. 태양의 후예. Again, this one, 태양의 후예 would be the literal pronunciation of the word 의, but then in spoken Korean, it's often pronounced as 태양의 후예, descendants of the sun. Now these titles are almost direct translations, but with slight differences and variations. Let's look at them one by one. We have 미생 first, 미생, incomplete life. Originally, 미생 is a term that is used in the game of Go, 바둑 in Korean. It's a word that many Korean people were also not familiar with until this webtoon-based drama was made and became really popular. So they also added the meaning of 미생 in the English translation as well. So yeah, 미생 means incomplete life. So it's a bit different. And next we have 구름이 그린 달빛, love in the moonlight. It's similar but slightly different because literally it means moonlight drawn by the clouds. 구름 is cloud, 달빛 is moonlight, 달 is moon, 빛 is light, so moonlight drawn by the clouds. And 구름이 here, the spelling is interesting, right? You probably know, maybe you learned in your beginner lessons that 구름 means the cloud or clouds, and then you have the subject marker E, but why is it 구름이? The clouds, right? And it's also written in the medieval Korean style used in the 15th century. So that's what or how they used to write words. They would make the consonant, the last consonant of the previous word, flow over to the next particle. And next we have 이상한 변호사 우영우. 이상한 변호사 우영우. Translation was extraordinary attorney Woo, but the literal translation is actually strange attorney Woo Young-woo. So 이상한, strange versus extraordinary. Maybe extraordinary contains the meaning of strange still, but very negative potentially and potentially more positive. So that's different. Now, in this group, we have English translations of Korean drama titles that are quite different from the original, which makes them even more interesting for you, Korean learners. Okay, so first we have on this list of this group, 별에서 온 그대, 별에서 온 그대. My love from the star is the official translation in English. Literally, it means you, 그대, romantic you, only used in romantic phrases or situations, not even in verbal phrases, but only in writing usually, and song lyrics. So you who came from the star, you who came from the star. I remember this title being used in the initial first few months when the drama was being imported or exported overseas at first, but then they chose this official translation, My Love from the Star. And then next we have 슬기로운 의사생활, which is officially translated as Hospital Playlist. Maybe because they have this band that they form, musical band. But yeah, Hospital Playlist, 슬기로운 의사생활, very different because 슬기로운 의사생활 literally means wise doctor life. So 슬기 means wisdom, but more everyday wisdom, like how to do things cleverly. So cleverness or wisdom, 슬기. 슬기로운 is wise as the adjective form, and 의사 is doctor, 생활 is life. So wise, clever, doctor, life. Okay, and then we have 사랑의 불시착. Again, 의 being pronounced as 에 once again here. 사랑의 불시착. Crash landing on you. Crash landing on you. Literally, crash landing of love. One interesting fact about this title, in addition to the difference between the translation and the literal translation, is that this was actually a popular song back when I was a child by 박남정, 사랑의 불시착. So it's a divider between generations. So if somebody hears 사랑의 불시착, this name, and then the only thing they know is the drama, they are maybe an MZ generation person. And then if they know both the song title, which made the phrase popular in the first place in the 1990s, I think, and the drama title, they are on the older side, like my generation. So 사랑의 불시착. 불시착 means basically crash landing. And next, 비밀의 숲. This one is quite different because in English it's called stranger, as in strangers, but 비밀의 숲 literally means the secret forest or the forest of secrets, because 비밀의 or 비밀의 can either work as an adjective before a noun, or it can be like of secrets, right? 비밀의 숲. Okay? And then we have 환혼. Alchemy of Souls was the official translated title, but the literal translation is exchanging souls. It's not a word that exists, that is commonly used in everyday life, so it's not even in the dictionary. But 환혼, if you look at the 한자 behind the words, it's exchanging, and 혼, 영혼, souls. 환전 is the same 환, like exchanging money between currencies. The next one, 정신병동에도 아침이 와요. 정신 is your mind, and 병동 is the hospital word. So 정신병동에도 아침이 와요 was translated to daily dose of sunshine, which is almost impossible to guess just by looking at either the Korean title or the English title. And the literal translation is 아침이 와요, morning comes to the psychiatric ward too. Morning comes to the psychiatric ward too. I think this would have made a fine title, right? Morning comes to the psychiatric ward too. Okay, and then the next one is 슈룹, under the queen's umbrella, also quite different. And what's funny is 슈룹 is a native pure Korean word that used to be used a long time ago. It's like in ancient Korean. That means umbrella. So the under the queen's part didn't exist in the original Korean title. 슈룹 basically means 우산 in old Korean. Okay, so that's interesting. Next, 갯마을 차차차. 갯마을 차차차. The 차차차 part is the same, but 갯마을 was translated to hometown in the official translation, and literally it means seaside village 차차차. Seaside village. 갯마을 is in Korean dictionaries. It means 갯가에 있는 마을. So 갯마을, it's not commonly used in everyday Korean these days because most people live like in the cities, big cities, away from the seaside. And 갯마을 basically means a small village by the sea because 갯가 means seaside. But in more everyday colloquial Korean, 바닷가 is more commonly used. So 갯마을, 차차차, seaside village, 차차차. Next one, 일타 스캔들. The scandal part is translated to romance here, and the whole official title is Crash Course in Romance, which I think is clever. 일타 scandal is also in Korean. If you look at it, it's funny because 일타 basically comes from the hagwon industry. If you know about the Korean private institutes and private education industry, because 일타 comes from 1등 스타 강사. 1등 스타 강사. So many private institutes have, or some of those big private institute chains have really popular star lecturers who can kind of almost sort of guarantee that you enter a good university, a prestigious one. So 스타, they're like stars and they make loads of money. So 1등, top tier, first place, 스타, 강사, star, lecturer, instructor. It can be mathematics or English or science, Korean. So 1등 스타 강사 1타, it became 1타. So whoever is called 1타 is somebody who can teach you like the essence of what will be in the exam next time. So 1등 스타 강사 1타 scandal. So because just by hearing the word 1타, people can guess it's about learning something, going to a hagwon. So crash course in the official translation. So that's very clever. And next we have 재벌집 막내 아들, Reborn Rich. If you watch the drama, you know why it's called Reborn Rich. The Korean title doesn't give it away. And literally it's translated to conglomerate family's youngest son. 재벌집 막내 아들, youngest son. Next we have 사내 맞선, a business proposal is the official title, and literally it means 사내 means in company. So 사내 행사, in company event. So in a company event. So 사내 맞선, within the company. 맞선 basically means a blind date arranged by someone else with a prospective marriage partner. So 소개팅 is a blind date, but you are meeting somebody that you will potentially just date first. And then 맞선 is, it's also a blind date, but you're meeting up with somebody that you might marry. So that's the difference. So 사내 맞선, a business proposal. Quite interesting because it's proposal and business together in one phrase. And lastly, we have 사이코지만 괜찮아. It's translated to it's okay to not be okay. I know it's a popular drama, but I noticed that many people don't know the original Korean title. This is the most interesting translation in my opinion because literally it says either she's a psycho but it's okay or you're a psycho but it's okay because the subject part is omitted. But yeah, in Korean, in the original Korean title, it has the word psycho. It didn't make it into the English official translation or title. So what do you think? Should psycho지만 괜찮아 have been the official title in English too? You're a psycho but it's okay, or yeah. I thought it was interesting, and every time I told people that fact, everybody like really enjoyed it, so I wanted to include that as our last item on the list. So we've looked at some pretty well-known Korean drama titles in both the original Korean version and in English translation. How many of these dramas have you already watched yourself? I wonder if there's anyone here who's watched all 30 of them. If so, you have my highest respect for your passion. And what's your favorite Korean drama so far? If possible, please write the title in Korean and try leaving your comments in Korean too. 여러분이 좋아하는 한국 드라마에 대해서 한국어로도 코멘트 많이 남겨주세요. 다 읽어볼게요. And thank you so much for studying Korean with Talk to Me in Korean, everyone. We'll be waiting for you on our website at talktomeinkorean.com with all of our systematic courses for you. Have a great day. 다음 시간에 만나요. 감사합니다.